When you hear about billionaires, names like Gates, Bezos, and Musk might come to mind. But one family has quietly built an empire and influence that few can rival. Today, we're diving into the story of the Koch family. Known for their massive wealth, deep political influence, and vast business empire, the Kochs have shaped industries and politics in ways most people don't realize. Join us as we explore the secretive world of the Koch family, their billions, and the impact they've had on the world around us. The story of the Koch family's wealth starts with Fred C. Koch, a man whose vision and daring financial choices set the stage for everything the family would later build. Born in 1900, Fred was an engineer and a man who recognized opportunity in places others didn't look. After graduating from MIT, he was drawn to the oil industry, where he quickly discovered a big problem. Existing methods for turning crude oil into gasoline were inefficient and costly, but Fred saw a way to make it work better and cheaper. In the 1920s, Fred developed a groundbreaking new process that made refining heavy crude oil much more efficient. His process was a significant improvement over the existing technology, and it allowed oil companies to produce gasoline faster and at a much lower cost. With this innovation, Fred was set to make a fortune. But the big oil companies didn't want competition, so they sued him, tying him up in years of legal battles. Faced with these lawsuits and unable to sell his technology in the US, Fred could have walked away. But he saw another path to profit, one that involved taking his skills abroad. Fred found his way to the Soviet Union, where the government, eager to industrialize, was interested in his refining technology. Fred struck a deal to build 15 oil refineries across the Soviet Union, a move that proved to be incredibly profitable. But he didn't stop there. Fred took advantage of emerging markets and the demand for efficient refining technology, bringing his methods to countries in Europe and even the Middle East. In these places, he was able to license his technology and negotiate contracts that paid him royalties every time his refining process was used. This created a steady income stream that would help finance his other ventures and expand his wealth. Fred Koch wasn't just an engineer. He was a savvy businessman who recognized the value of finding markets where demand was high and competition was low. By the late 1930s, Fred had made a significant amount of money overseas, but he decided to bring his focus back to the United States. Using the capital he earned abroad, he set up a new company back home, determined to grow his empire despite the resistance he'd faced. This company would eventually become Koch Industries. Fred began expanding his business beyond oil, investing in pipelines and refineries across the country. He understood that owning the infrastructure, the pipelines and refineries, meant he could control more of the production chain, reducing costs and maximizing his profits. Fred was disciplined about reinvesting his earnings back into the company, building a foundation for Koch Industries that was strong and diversified. Rather than focusing only on oil extraction or refining, he expanded into multiple areas of energy and manufacturing, ensuring that his wealth didn't rely on just one product or market. This strategic reinvestment became a cornerstone of the Koch business philosophy, one that his sons would adopt and expand upon. Fred also understood that one key to lasting wealth was keeping his company private. Unlike public companies, which are controlled by shareholders and can be influenced by outside pressures, a private company could operate more freely. Fred taught his sons, Charles and David, the importance of controlling the business from within. And when Fred passed away in 1967, Charles Koch took over with that same philosophy in mind. Charles and David understood the strategy their father had used. Invest in multiple industries, control as much of the production chain as possible, and maintain private ownership to keep control. Fred had built Koch Industries into a diversified private empire. Now, his sons were ready to take that empire to the next level. When Charles took the reins of Koch Industries, he was already deeply involved in the family business and eager to expand. Charles Koch began buying up smaller companies in industries like chemicals, finance, and even ranching. By diversifying horizontally, he ensured that Koch Industries could thrive across multiple markets, reducing reliance on any single sector. As Koch Industries grew, Charles and his brother David used their wealth to quietly influence public policy, funding think tanks and advocacy groups that aligned with their vision for less government intervention. Today, the Koch family's empire stands as one of the most influential private companies in the world, both for its economic power and its political impact. Love them or criticize them, the Koch family's legacy in industry and policy is undeniable, marking one of the most powerful private dynasties in modern history. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to support more videos so we can deep dive into the world's most powerful and luxurious dynasties.